we talked about Wicked Tree.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how I came into contact with Wicked Tree. It was very, very random. I think I came across it just on Instagram. I saw the name Wicked Tree. I've always liked the word wicked. And I have this weird sort of, there's no other way to, it's not a sexual thing, but I call it a fetish, like a fetish for like dead trees or like silhouettes of trees. And if you, I don't know if we have his logo here, but we'll link it up. But it's sort of the silhouette of an old dead tree. Anytime I'm on a hike, if there's like a weird tree in the distance, I'm just fascinated by these cool old dead trees, because to me they seem like they're imbued with magic, or they're like a wizard's tree or something. Maybe, I don't know if it's from like Lord of the Rings, but I saw that, and the Wicked Tree thing really stood out to me. And then I at the time I needed a demo reel, so I reached out with you, Adam, and sort of got to know you a little bit, and we had a few chats, and you put together my demo reel last year. So thank you for that. Maybe we'll roll that. We'll see if that gets laggy.
Let's do that. Ready? And
that's a bad sign. We're already getting the laggy signal.
I am so happy to see you.
Cut.
Yeah.
There we go. We're going to cut it. There we go. And we're back here. Yeah, I don't know that it doesn't make sense to play that if it's laggy. We'll worry about the tech for next time.
I have the demo reel quote video. That's in a different format, so we can play that.
Great.
Nope. Well.
There it is. There's that old dead tree.
I play it quick.
Nice.
It is.
So yeah, unfortunately, I was hoping to be able to show mine, but if we're getting laggy, we won't be able to do that. But maybe, Adam, can you just talk a little bit about your process of, if an actor wants a demo reel, sort of how you structure, and if you have a pre-meeting with them, and how you do that, and then actually as an editor, without revealing your special spices and all your secret sauce, just sort of talk about your process in putting together a killer demo reel for people.
Okay. Process for creating it, or I guess the process of if someone reaches out and they want to talk about it, or get a demo reel. That's the best way to put it. I mean, that started because around the time that Wicked Tree Creative was forming, I had started doing demo reels for people I knew or friends of people I knew through, like the one you saw in there, that guy George Gallagher, which is, he might have been the first major demo I had done. And that happened. He was sort of like at a stuck point, and then when he started sending out the new one, he was signed by an agency soon after, and he's been working steady since. That particular video was a lot longer than I would do for anyone else now, but it, you didn't watch it and think like, come on, let's see, when is this thing gonna end? I usually find out what people have, because right now, I mean, there are some demo reel services where they're going to go out because they've got a full production company at the ready, and they will go out and like film custom scenes for and with you. That's not something I've offered. Maybe that'll be something in the future, but it's, when you can't travel and it's pretty risky, that's not really in the cards for me or my company right now. But I do talk to people what they have, and if they've got a previous reel, I'll check it out. But I usually try to get the uncut clips that they've got. And we talk about what they need, what their goals are, or usually it's not so heavily specific other than I need a reel. Like, I've got this footage, or sometimes it's like, I've got one short. Is it worth doing a promo for? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, because I had one actor who she was great, and it was a really cool short, but that's all she had so far. But we still made a really cool reel out of it, and it's just shorter and sweeter, and no casting guy is going to say that the reel was too short. They want to get through it and see what they can. But usually, yeah, I just talk through the process of like, it usually takes this long to do it. These are the other sort of custom things I can do. And I know you mentioned not revealing too much secret sauce, but one thing that I have become known for is, I mean, because you get a lot up and comers and indies coming to you with their footage, and sometimes they're getting the uncompleted film, or they're given like footage that's missing sound or music, or just something's incomplete about it. Or sadly, sometimes the editing hasn't really highlighted them to the best of their ability. And I don't mean like, say, the focus of the scene was taken off them. I mean, like, I go back and watch the full bit and then see what they used, and there's just better ways to show their scene off. I had one person who convinced the director to give them the raw footage of the entire short film that they were in, with the blessing of recutting a specific scene to be much more about the actor in question than the other person, which was the original scene. But so I got all the original elements to really play with. But even without having those extra elements, I've been able to take scenes and add more to them, sort of spit and polish them. I mean, just a couple of frames off in some moments can help the flow of the piece. Like, the performance can be great, and if the cut's not right, you're going to feel like something's not working as well, and that could form a bit of a bias toward that person. So it's like, what are all the tricks that we can do to make these people's work shine? I mean, it's not a very elaborate thing I lay out with how we can work with people, but I also show them what, like, we have special packages, or like, it depends how much sort of cosmetic work needs to be done on it. Like, if you want bits and pieces artfully arranged at the way to bring the most attention to your work, that's one thing. If you have stuff that needs me to bring in someone to correct the color and do like a full-on real sound mix versus, say, just little tweaks here and there, that could end up costing more. I'm not quite sure if I'm just going or if
No, this is great. Yeah. One thing I'll chime in again. I was hoping that we'd get to see it. And, well, I'll link it up in the show notes, and I'll post it on my social media here later tonight so people can check it out. But I really like that you sort of you treat a demo reel like a sizzle reel, obviously, but it's got to have it's got to come across as like a story. So in mine, you added a little music, and it was just kind of real quick smash cuts of my 3 scenes. So
we can't actually play Lars's demo reel if we want.
You can now?
Yeah.
All right, let's fire it up again. Thank you.
Ready and.
I am so happy to see you.
And what exactly is it you expect us to do out here?
Survive.
What's wrong with this guy? Hey, listen, open the door. Hey, buddy, open the door. It's not funny.
I'll go.
Are you kidding me?
You scared us half to death.
You beat me half to death?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I peed a little. May have ruptured my spleen. Oh, yeah, she's burst. Lucky for me, we got 2 of them. I'll live.
What's the problem, man?
Problem is, I don't want my daughter around this. If you ever hurt my daughter, I will rip out your entrails with my bare hands. That goes for all of you. Yeah, real tough now. Leave my family alone.
Cast your mind back.
What is with the echo?
Dramatic effect.
We need your help.
Ugh.
You want my help with something dangerous?
Yeah.
All right.
There it is. Nice.
You're going to tell your fans that at some point soon there'll be a more delicious, longer director's cut with some other footage in it too. So
right.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's you were opening. Do you want me to break down what you were talking about this combining system and then the actual? That's a thing that, I don't do that in every demo reel, but it's become popular, and it's a thing of, and it's funny, we were talking about the teasers for the trailers. I was kind of inspired by that. Now, when you go to watch trailer on YouTube, there is like a 2 or 3 second sort of taste of it before you really get into the real deal. So I thought about that, and I was like, it might be interesting to take a couple of quick visual highlights with some music of an actor's reel and give a sense of who they are and who they can be before we've even gotten started. Because, casting people are going to end up scrubbing that reel and just watching pieces too. I've met some who prefer just to go right into the clips, and I've seen some who really love seeing this little like teaser taste beforehand. But that's one thing that I really do spend a lot of time on. If people want that, is I really get a sense of who this actor is that I'm getting to know, and their work, and so those clips have the energy they're bringing.
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily make that sort of too actiony if people were doing very quiet, somber dramas, But all your stuff had this sort of intense energy, whether you were doing like a criminal or just being a showman or an utter clown. And I've done a lot of temp track spotting in past post-production jobs, and so you just get a feel of like what music's out there that has a good vibe for this. So like that Born on the Bayou moment, that's actually not even the regular song. It's like a remix of it. And there's only like 4 or 5 seconds, so it's not like going to get flagged, Right. It immediately gives like, your energy, you're like this coiled snake, you can just be utterly goofy. And then at the end, I like that we just used something that was much more just like old school showman-y, like the Bobby Darin tune.
Right. No, I love that. And I think there is something to say for first impressions. And if in that first 3 to 5 seconds, they get 2 or 3 looks and kind of get a sense of you versus having to bank that first clip really draws them in, because sometimes an agent or a casting director, maybe that first clip doesn't strike them the way that you would hope. But if they've seen the little teaser, then they're like, oh, I like that the glimpse of that character right there. When's that coming? And they'll kind of hang in there to see that highlight and when it comes up. Which is the point, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I still have the responsibility as the editor to make sure that first clip does make them not want to change their mind, And that can be all about the timing. It could be like a great 3-minute scene, but it's like, what are the 20 seconds that you have in there, It's all timing, but there's a lot of good, like sort of unseen stuff that I have to do to sometimes to make things flow better. I don't think I really had to do any sort of like audio tricks to help smooth over anything in your work. It was really just about timing. And I remember you and I had conversations where like we left in like a second and a half, and then suddenly it felt like the scene didn't work as well. And then we took that second and a half out, because we're only going to get to see pieces. If we had watched all of that scene in Super Hijabi, it's a great scene. So we would be like, this is really cool. But like, you have to be very, very careful about what you're picking and how you present it, what order it's in. It's never just popping random stuff on a timeline and then that's it. I've seen some really stale demo reels where the people in it are good, but like it's the presentation that's suffering. So it just helps to, I mean, anyone can get iMovie, but are you putting decades of craft and working with actors? Because I've directed actors and I'm watching the performance, and I have to do everything in my power to make sure I'm highlighting the best parts of the performances, so no one does anything but want to watch that. And I do definitely cap limits on, 2 minutes tends to be like the most I'll go these days. But I've got some that were like 2:15, and the stuff's so compelling that nobody complains about the running time. That original one for George that got him signed with the Paradigm Agency was 3.5 minutes. I wouldn't do that again, but it worked for him.